everyone. We just finished the pitching event in Santiago. It was really a great event at Startup Chile venue. There were a lot of good startups from all industries and from all around the world. Right now I'm with the winner. I'm very happy to present Shiv, that is representing the startup Totus Power. Can you explain to everyone a bit about your startup and a bit about yourself?
Sure. So at Totus Power, we are building a portable battery pack that's 10 times cheaper and 6 times more powerful. And the problem that we're really trying to solve is there's 500,000 low-income schools in India and other developing countries. They spent a lot of money on getting tablets and projectors to their children, but they're not able to use them because the infrastructure for electricity has not caught up. So they don't have an access to reliable electricity, and existing solutions are either too expensive or too complicated. So we're building this portable battery pack that can work for 6 years non-stop. It can, every single instance, run for 6 hours. And we're actually taking batteries from an electric car and repurposing it for a school in India. So that it's a new way to run their classroom setup. Personally, I'm an electrical engineer, but I also have a master's degree in business. I worked in a bunch of corporate roles, Deloitte, Tata, Ernst & Young, before I got tired of everything, and I came back to cars. So as a kid, I'm a car-obsessed car freak. I've been a bus driver. I've had my first racing license when I was 19. I've driven halfway across the world across the US in my motorcycle. So anyway, I wanted to come back to that, and eventually it led to my own startup, which is what you guys saw today.
So this is your first startup that you have ever launched before?
Yeah, so I worked at a startup before. I was the director of business strategy there. But I personally come from a culture where entrepreneurism is not really that encouraged. If you come from a good family, you go get a good degree, you get a good job, and then you buy a bunch of cars. You're happy with that, but it was not fun. So.
And you were saying that you were going to start with the Indian market. Are you then thinking of other emerging markets?
Yes, at this point, the problem that we are trying to solve, it's prevalent in Africa, it's in Indonesia, a large part of Central Asia. I grew up in India, so for me this is a way to give back to home, and also strategically, not to say I don't have things to learn about the Indian market, but it's a good, easier start. I grew up in that culture, so it's easier for me to understand it.
And would so your main target would be the schools? Are they the ones that are going to have to pay this portable battery?
Interestingly, it's the smart classroom suppliers who actually sell the tablets and projectors to schools who are my primary customers. Because for them, they're not able to sell to a large volume of the population because the schools won't buy it if they don't have a way to use it. And right now, they're trying. One of our potential customers, he lost an order of 500 units, each costing $2,000 because the schools wouldn't buy them until he packages in a 4-hour backup. And the only option he has is $50 for 20 minutes, and that's the most he could do.
And as an entrepreneur, being kind of your second startup experience, what is the main challenge that you have faced or that your startup has faced going to the market or starting up?
I think the main problem, it's not really a problem, it's a challenge. I think entrepreneurs will get off on it. But there's this thing you have in your head. You want to try and translate into reality. But you're trying to see what's there 2 to 3 years ahead. And you're trying to ask people not only to come on board as a friend and as someone who says, keep doing, this makes sense. You're also asking them to put their money into it when they essentially can't see that what you have in your head. You can only explain it to them. So this company I started with literally no money. I slept under my desk for, I think, 7 months. I survived on Subway sandwiches for the same 7 months. I had a $15 a day budget. No, I wouldn't say an entrepreneur spirit. I don't know if there's something like that, but you just do what you got to do. For me, it was my old startup was done. I didn't have enough money. I had an idea. I didn't want to go home and search for a job because I have a student loan that I have to pay back as well. So I didn't want to go through all that. It was either a choice of this or that. So you just go through with it.
And last question. As you know, we are a Swiss initiative. So what does Switzerland mean to you?
I've actually never been there, but being a car freak, I've heard Switzerland, you guys have a thing against cars. Yeah, I heard it's very, very expensive to own a car in Switzerland, but you have beautiful roads. So I would absolutely want to come down there and get a really fast motorcycle or a really fast car and drive it around Switzerland, yeah.
Drive it after our final event when you're invited to come. So there's no problem with the speed limit. But we are very, very happy to have you come to the final event in Switzerland, and you'll get to have a bit of a taste of Switzerland and Geneva. So thank you for your time. Thank you, everyone.